Alrighty, welcome to Romero Records podcast. Today we have on.
Chris Graham, man, I appreciate you for having me.
Thanks, man. How's it going?
Pretty good, no complaints, man. Just working, everyday life.
Good. So, I had you on. I saw you on Instagram. I think it was the Smackers post. Yeah. And I've actually never eaten there.
You gotta go check out Smackers. Shout out to Jerry, man. That's my family over there at Smackers. So whenever you get a chance, go check them out. They got a couple locations here in the city and one in South Haven too. So
yeah, there's actually one down the road out of Bartlett going toward Cordova.
Yep.
Right I see it all the time.
Man, pull up. You won't be disappointed. I promise you.
What should I get there?
My go-to is the Salmon Club.
Salmon Club, okay.
Yeah, Salmon Club. I'd never had a Salmon Club before. When I tried it, I was hooked, man. It was like, it's fire, bro.
Okay.
Shout out to Jerry and be over there at Smackers, man.
How long is, pull that mic a little
closer.
Yeah.
All right.
How long has Smackers been around?
For some years, man. Like from what I've been told, several years. Man, I don't wanna misquote, but I believe like
just a while,
believe like 2012, if not before, somewhere around there. That's when I like got hold of.
I'm a big foodie, so I like trying different places and go to different places. I recently had this controversy about Dixie Queen.
Okay, Dixie Queen.
Because I live in Cordova.
Yep.
And I was going to somebody was like, "Man, you got to try a Dixie Queen." I'm like, "All right." So there was a Dixie Queen.
You had never tried Dixie Queen before?
No, I hadn't. So I'm from Alabama.
Okay.
And I moved here in 2019.
Okay.
So what happened? Oh yeah. So I go to the Dixie Queen that was on Germantown Parkway.
Okay, that ain't the one. You got to go to
That's
the one
exactly
in like White Haven. It's like a hood delicacy. Like for real, you got to go to the one that's in the hood where it's like the writing's all torn off the sign. Like you can barely read the sign. Like with the speakers all broken. That's the one that they got the fire. And you gotta get the Kool-Aid when you go.
Oh, okay. That's exactly what everybody like. When I told people, everybody who told me to go to Dixie Queen, I was like, man, I went. It was okay, and they were like, "Where'd you go?" And I was like, "The one on Germantown Parkway." They was like, "Nah,
that's not the one."
So you got to go to the one where you can't read the menu, all that kind of stuff.
Exactly.
I was like, "Oh, my bad."
Yep.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the places around here. They're pretty good. As I said, I like going to different places.
Yep. Couple different restaurants. Let's see. The Cache joint they just opened is Money Bags. It's pretty decent.
Oh yeah. I haven't been there yet.
The Garden Brunch, man. If you're downtown and you're looking for like a brunch, dude, go to the Garden Brunch. They're man immaculate. They got some what is it, like raspberry lemon pancakes.
Raspberry
Bro,
lemon
it's
pancakes.
crazy, dude. It's crazy.
Oh my god,
it's crazy. And I also fuck with Brown Lee over there at Serve.
Okay.
It's right off of Kirby and Quince. Yeah, they're fire too.
Okay. Yeah, I have to check that out. As I said, I just like going to different places around here. And the funny thing is, Memphis and barbecue.
Okay. Yep.
Tops. I go for their burgers.
The burgers?
The burgers are slamming.
The burgers, all right, yeah, they got some good burgers. That's true. That's true. I'm more of like a pulled chicken guy.
Okay.
I like the barbecue, with the chicken, so it get kind of sloppy.
Yeah.
Yeah. I fuck with those.
Yeah, that's dope. Well, let's talk about what you do, and how you started, all that good stuff. So,
man, I started off as an artist. To be honest, like I started off doing music. With my cousin, rest in peace, Magnificent. He the one got me started when I was like 16, and man, I just went on various tours, around the states. And it was just at some point like it took a turn for me being an artist because I wasn't willing to do some of the things that the industry just like wants you to do, just kind of like get in. I just wasn't with any of that. So like I took a step back and man, I started doing all kinds of other stuff, dude. Like I let music go for a while. But summer of 2020, I think it was 2021, I got a call from my good friend and super producer, Teddy Walton. And he was like, "Hey, man, what are you doing?" And at that time, I was doing taxes. I was for my cousin's, her tax company. Shout out Tax Nurse. I was doing taxes. Tax season had just ended. And he was like, "Yo, what are you doing?" I was like, "Nothing." He was like, "Dude, I want you to come back to LA." Because moved to LA in like 2013 to just pursue music. I got an audio production engineering degree out there, and so I got my feet wet, with the city, different people out there, different artists, different producers. But Teddy Walton was my brother. He called me and he was like, "Yo, I want you to help me with some management stuff." So I was just like, "Okay, I had never done management in my life." But he kind of just like threw me out there to the Sharks. He was just like, "Yo, talk to these people. You know what I'm saying? Say this, and this. You know? And we'll go from there." So yeah. But yeah, he just kind of like introduced me to like the management side of things. And so Teddy Walton and Aaron Bowe, that's like I said, super producers, Grammy winning, Grammy nominated producers. They gave me the chance to just start working with them, and that's how I got my introduction to like management. And from there, I still work with Teddy, still work with Aaron, but I decided to come up with my own company, the Manifested, right? The Manifested.
Okay.
And the reason why is because I know a lot of artists, I know a lot of producers who call themselves producers, call themselves artists, but they're not actually established as an artist. To be established as an artist, you need an IPI number. You need to be registered with the Performance Rights Organization. That's how you obtain your IPI number. Things of this nature. Just some of the basic things, and they didn't know. So for me, I was like, man, I've obtained all this knowledge through working with Teddy because he's independent. And I saw how he was, maneuvering with the industry labels and stuff like that, and he was able to remain independent all this time, own all of his masters. And so I was like, yo, hey, let's see if I can help, all these other independent artists that I know. Mainly starting with my family, shout out K Boogie, that's the artist that I've been working with. And he just inspired me to just like gather as much information and educate myself as much as I could so that I could pass that knowledge down to, my people.
Yeah. So like let's go back to when you were talking about,
that was a big spiel. My bad.
No, you're good. Just learning audio engineering and production and stuff like that. Like, how was that transition for you? Did it seem easy? Was it like, man, this is a lot and I'm overwhelmed?
Well, at that point in time, I was still performing as an artist.
Okay.
But I was independent. I didn't have, any push like labels backing me or anything. I was doing everything on my own. So for me, it was a good learning experience. It wasn't difficult, but like I said, I just was focused more on being an artist. I was focused more on perfecting my lyricism, making catchy hooks, things of this nature versus working, on the boards, mixing and mastering and things like that. I had an engineer that was working with me, Mikhail Roby. He did a lot of my engineering. He was just like my right hand. So I really didn't have to worry about much of the production side of things, So that now is one of my, goals. It's just like now that I've done the management side, now I'm doing my own business side. Now I do kind of want to get into like, hands-on production engineering, but
I say that's where the fun is at. Like I tell people all the time, like, so I do everything in music, just like how you were describing. Like I started out rapping, and then I was like, oh, I gotta learn how to engineer vocals and stuff like that, so I can put music out. Then I learned how to make beats and all that kind of stuff. So I would definitely say being able to do all those things helps you be better at each one. So if you're a good rapper, if you learn how to make beats, you will understand the process of beat making, which will help you 100%. Like be more on cadence and all that kind of stuff.
And you can cater your beats towards your lyrics and stuff.
Exactly, yeah. And doing that, it helps you. It just makes you a better artist because you'll know how to flow with the song. Your flow, your cadence, like everything just gets smoother and better. You can always tell people you should make a song like it's a movie. Like you've got an intro. How if you want to just the baby says he always likes to, as soon as the beat starts, that's when he starts rapping.
Right.
So that's like a movie that's like an action movie.
Okay.
Like an action movie, it starts off with explosions and stuff like that. If that's how you want to start your song, you start your song like that.
Right.
And then you can have like, you've got like your bridge can just be something where like you just slowly dragging people in and then you punch them back with the chorus. So that's why I tell people, like, build your song like it's a movie, because you want to capture people's attention, but you don't want like, something crazy all the time, because then it's like, when's
You'll
it
lose
stop?
their attention.
Exactly,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah, I
So
get it.
how do you feel about, I guess, the way music has changed over time? Like you said you started doing it, was it 2012 or something like that?
I started doing music like in 06.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so it was a long time ago. But
So music's changed a lot
since then. Yeah. Jeez. I feel like now it's all about popularity. It's not as much about skill as it was back then.
I would say so.
Yeah. I ain't gonna say nothing's wrong with it, but it just kind of like waters it down to the true, artists, the people who like actually love music and like listen to artists for their lyricism and like. So, I mean, it is what it is. You just gotta adapt. That's how I see it.
Yeah, I do think that now is the time for independent artists to shine.
100%.
Because we always say like, oh man, so and so I know is much better rapper than so and so, but it's like, yeah, they don't have that notoriety right now, but like the people can help push you by like sharing your post online and stuff like that, and just playing your music. Like the people can make a tremendous impact on your music career,
100%.
and especially right now with like TikTok and everything. Like,
Dude.
that can blow people up.
Yeah, that's I've seen a lot of artists blow based off like their TikTok and their Instagram reels. I've been talking to several people who I know in the industry, and they've been telling me like TikTok's been like signing artists and stuff. So that's a whole other story. They said, that's crazy. It's crazy.
That's something that I feel like, I don't know, in the future it's going to get pretty wild. Number one, because like it's so easy to just make music nowadays. Like
really
people surprise me, because like I was telling people this the other day on social media, like I pretty much like the ways I know to make music is my recording studio. Like you saw the studio downstairs. Like that's how I know to make music. But like these young cats are making music where like they're doing it all on their phone.
That's what.
And I'm like, how do you do that?
How are you doing this? Exactly. Like I was in the car. We had a show, the 901. It was September 1st. K Boogie performed. He was like, "Yo, I recorded a lot of these songs on my phone." I'm like, "Bro, what?" I'm like, "How does it sound this good?" We were playing it in my car. I'm like, "How does it sound as good and you recorded it on your phone? Like, what app are you using?" And he went into detail and told me, but I was just like, "Wow, that's crazy. You recorded on your phone?"
It's wild.
Yeah.
As I said, like the gateway to get in the industry is getting a lot easier, and it's getting bigger, so that people who have little knowledge are able to get in. But I think it actually makes it easier for people like you who are doing like this management and coaching style of thing, because now, since more people are getting into it, you're like, oh yeah, come here, let me teach you
exactly. And I find joy in like helping people, especially when I teach them, how to collect their royalties, register with this website, register on this platform, and then they get these checks in the mail, or they get these deposits in their account and stuff, and they're like, "Bro, I got paid." I'm like, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. It's like there are certain ways that you can do. You can remain independent. You don't have to sign to a label. As long as you're getting streams, as long as people are playing your music, dude, like you're entitled to, royalties. You're entitled to your money.
So what do you think, I would say, the biggest misconception that artists have when it comes to, being with a label and then just like being independent?
I think it's the money. People want that big check. People want that big check, and they want that glitz and the glamour behind that stuff. And the different, I mean, to me, remaining independent is just I'm different, so I feel like it's like keeping my dignity. You know what I'm saying? Okay. Because like I said, there's just certain things that the labels were wanting people to do that I wasn't with. The hoops that they want you to jump through, I'm just not with it. So you asked what's the the difference? Or
Like the biggest misconception,
the
like
biggest
because you said like money, like
Yeah.
a lot of people and a lot of artists don't know like that money is usually like a loan.
It's always a loan.
Like they're hardly just giving you money.
Right, unless you come to the label with, I mean, you always have leverage, like as an artist, especially if a label is offering you anything, you always have leverage, but you don't ever like want to come taking, like if they're just like trying to reel you in, okay, yeah, we're gonna give you this much to sign, like I'll always check out that paperwork because it's a loan, like you said, it's most likely gonna be a loan. You got to pay that back.
Yeah.
So,
And I think when artists, when they see that kind of stuff, you know, they see their favorite rapper or artist, whatever, doing things, they're like, oh man, like they got that instantly because they were doing this and that, and they signed with this label, and that's what I want to do. It's like, at the end of the day, when you're with a big label, it's more or less a job.
Yeah,
like,
100%. Because now you have to put out this many albums. You got to put out, you know, this much. You got to do this. You got to work with this artist that the label tell you to work with. It's like, yeah, it's a job from then on.
Yeah, I think that to me that's probably the biggest misconception. It's like people think like, oh,
sense.
now I can do whatever I want.
Yeah,
you know,
nah.
but it's like, no,
Now the work begins.
Yeah.
Because you got to pay this $1 million that they loan you. You got to pay that back with your music.
Yeah,
So
you got to figure that out.
yeah.
So you were talking about how the talent gap has changed over time. Do you think that the labels view that as like a numbers thing? Like, hey, how can we get these numbers compared to like who's the hottest, who's got the best sound and stuff like that?
100%. That I feel like the labels look at who they can make a dollar off of. You know, who's the most popular, who, you know, I mean, who's the hottest, not necessarily sound wise, but like who's got the most attention on them right now.
Like most views on
most
YouTube.
Views, yeah, all that. Yep. But shit, the views and like the music, like they coincide, like they go hand in hand, because if you got a hot song, like all you got to do is like create some content, get some, you know, influence behind it, and there you go. You got their attention now, because all these kids are doing your dance. All these kids are, you know, playing a song, adding it to their reels, you know. So
yeah. And is it good for music? Yes, somehow, some way, shape, or form.
Yeah,
but sometimes it sucks.
Sometimes it sucks because, like you're saying, it's just like anybody can get on at that point.
Yeah. And should everybody get on? No.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah. Some people, to me, there are so many people who are like big names in the industry that like their talent wise is not that great. And then like you can see it in like, so people are making a big deal out of this on, what's her name? Ice Spice.
Okay.
So they were talking about how her performance, like her performances weren't that great when she first started out. And it's because the label saw her get numbers first. And then they didn't really like help
develop her as an artist.
Develop her as an artist. Right. And I was like, yikes. Yeah. Like, and this was just some post I just saw on Twitter. Okay. This was not like some big name person in the industry that was saying like, look at how she's performing. It was just a random person.
Yeah.
So if a random person can spot this out, like think how everybody else is looking at it. So artist development is just really not there.
It's really not. And that's why I kind of want to like bring that back. But on my side of the artist development, I am just like giving them the knowledge on like how to collect their royalties. So I work with, you know, a few of them hand in hand, like, you know, perfecting their sound or beat selection, you know, things of this nature. But for the most part, I'm just educating you, putting you on the business side of the music industry.
Yeah, and I think that is something that is really needed in this time, because of how easy it is for people to access that knowledge, but like misunderstand it.
Well, and a lot of people, it's easy to access the knowledge, but they don't know where to go to access the knowledge. A lot of the time, it's hidden right in your face, you know. And then a lot of times, people are just oblivious. They just like, where do I start?
Yeah.
You know, so I at least want to be able to provide a platform like a medium, like, here you go. Here's one place that I know that I can go that's gonna give me insight and tell me, you know, how to get my money.
Yeah. And that's why I tell people like with like YouTube, like there's 1,000 different YouTube accounts
100%.
that can like teach you the same exact stuff.
100%.
But the reason why you subscribe to certain people is because you just like the way they talk to you.
Exactly.
So there's hundreds of thousands of companies that are just like yours.
Yep.
But if you are really good at teaching people a certain way, then people are going to come
Gravitate
to you.
to the way that I teach them. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
And so that's what I did, man. First, we created an ebook. I had taken a course, to help me understand royalty collection more. And then I created an ebook, and from the ebook, I was like, man, this is just it's good, but it's not enough. I feel like I could take it a step further, and with that, I created the online course. And so the online course is 13 modules of me going from the basics, how to obtain an IPI number to crowdfunding. So it's just a variety of different topics that we discuss, and just basically just spilling the beans on remaining independent or becoming an independent artist.
Okay. So do you have a preference of like ASCAP and BMI and CSAC, and like do you have a
I teach people to obtain both.
Okay.
But you can't have both under your social. So create a BMI under your social. Then if you have an LLC, or if you have a family member or a child, a brother, sister, mother, create the ASCAP in their name, and then release all of the songs and all that under that IPI number.
That's smart.
Yeah. That way, if you're working with an artist who has BMI, cool. If you're working with an artist who has ASCAP, cool. You don't have to worry about, interchanging the PROs.
Yeah, I was talking about that with somebody recently because I use BMI for Damaged Media Group. That's what we always use. Okay. And this particular artist uses ASCAP. And we were talking about like, we were using, you heard of Songview?
I haven't heard of Songview.
So Songview is really cool.
Okay.
So Songview is a website where they like ASCAP and BMI basically decided like, okay, let's combine our repertoire so that everybody can see every song ever made.
Okay.
So if you go on songview.com, you basically get this.
I think I did hear about this just recently. Yeah.
So if you go in there, you basically pick either BMI or ASCAP repertoire. Okay. And then if you click that, it will pull up like all the songs ever registered on there.
Oh wow!
So that if you look up anybody's like performer name and then the title of a song, it will tell you it'll say all the writers, all the publishers, like everything.
Okay.
And it breaks it down by percentage, and then you can see like who owns what percent, like ASCAP, BMI.
Okay.
And I was like, this is fantastic.
Right.
Like, thank God y'all finally did this.
That's dope.
Because it's awesome because like if you never knew like there's a lot of people like I think the most famous is probably like Gilly the Kid talking about how he wrote all Lil Wayne's stuff like that. So if you ever wanted to look him up, you can look his name up and then you can see like the songs he's written.
Right.
And I'm like, this is
That's
fantastic.
What you need. Yeah. That's dope. That's
but
dope.
yeah, I mean it separates. It shows you the ASCAP and BMI, and then that's how we found out the struggle of combining the two. I was like, oh yeah, this is difficult.
Yeah. So that's why I teach people, register with both. It's a way to do more than one way to skin a cat, as my dad would say.
Yeah.
Some country saying.
So with you're basically doing like admin work pretty much.
100%. That's what I call it. Yeah, administration.
Yeah. That's really neat that you've decided to niche down into that.
Right.
Because a lot of people, I would say they need to know the difference between what these different organizations can do for you.
Exactly.
Yeah. Like they might think a record label is like, oh, I have to go to a record label to get that kind of service.
Right.
But you are providing the service without like, no, I'm not your manager. I'm not all this other
any
stuff.
of that. Yeah. Exactly. I just offer a service, to anybody who wants to learn, and that's exactly what I've done. I just narrowed it down, and that's what I do.
When you are helping people do this stuff, does it seem like it's easy to for them to catch on and develop like that?
Yeah, because I literally, man, I broke it like in my course. I literally broke it down to like the layman's term, like just all the way down to the basics. Like, if it's easy for anybody to understand. I'm teaching my nephew. He's a senior in high school.
Okay.
He'll be 18 next year. He'll be 18, and so I've just been kind of like feeding him a little bit of knowledge here and there. Just so, like I said, if he can understand it, I'm pretty sure somebody who's my age or a little bit younger can understand it.
Also, that's a good point to bring up, the age wise. Like what kind of age? Because like I've known people who want to start music and they're like in their 40s and 50s.
Yeah.
Like, do you seem to be working with just much younger people or what?
Yeah. Oh damn, my bad.
No, you're good.
This is my homegirl. She's outside.
Oh, okay. We can go grab her.
You want to grab her?
Okay.
Quick?
We're gonna take a break right quick.
Yeah,
grab somebody and we'll come back. All right, cool. All right, we're back. So yeah, I think it's really cool that the music industry does change a lot, and that we have like these different age groups. As freaking, I was thinking about like Justin Bieber and like how everybody kind of critiqued him. Not even kind of critiqued him. Everybody was really hard. Yeah. I mean, he was like 13 or something like that.
He was wrong. He was real young.
And it's like, okay, if he was doing all this crazy stuff, think about what you would do if you were that famous and making that much money when you were that age. Like,
yeah, ain't no telling. I was doing some crazy stuff and I didn't have that much money. So I can only imagine.
Exactly. Yeah. So like, you're helping out 17, 18-year-old kids, doing music or whatever. And you're helping them find out these ways to finance themselves doing music.
100%.
That's irreplaceable in any other, like, I beg anybody to try and find any other career where like they can sit at home and do something. Anybody can buy like a little Focusrite interface and have a computer, or even like we were talking about, on your phone, make whole music and make money off of it. And just by knowing these simple things that you're teaching people, is simple stuff.
Yeah, it's simple stuff, but like you said, it's kind of like it's priceless, just because a lot of people don't have anybody in their corner, to teach them that. So
yeah.
Even if you want to just learn it on your own, if it's hard to find, I don't know, YouTube videos, if it's hard to find anything, just visit the Manifest. We got it all there. I promise you.
Do you actually control like everything on the site as far as like the content and everything, or do you have like a whole team? Like,
yeah, I got a team. Chrissy's part of the team, and my boy Melvin. Shout out to Melvin. He's over in Cologne, Germany right now.
Oh, okay.
And yeah, we do everything. We're hands-on with everything, man. So we control the content. We have an array of services that we offer as well. Man, talking about like independent film distribution, website. We build landing pages, through the whole nine, distribution. Teach you how to, create your own distribution company. Like I said, we do a lot, bro. We do a lot.
That's dope. Yeah. Do you help with like sync licensing and stuff?
100%.
Awesome.
Yeah, sync license. Well, I don't actually like pitch your music to specific agencies, but I teach you how to understand it 100%.
That's awesome. Yeah. A lot of people, I think that's another thing that artists forget. How they can make music.
Make money off their music, by syncing. You're syncing that stuff to video games, commercials, movies, all that.
Yeah, that's a lot of chunk of change that I think artists ignore because they idolize the streams, the numbers, and stuff like that. Right. So,
and it's just a part of the music industry that people don't often look towards. They forget about it, or they forget that it exists until they're presented with this opportunity to be in 2K or to be on Grand Theft Auto, and then they're like, oh wait, hold up, this person making this bag off video games. Let me focus on creating this music for this game. Yeah,
and a lot of that music it might be like completely different from what, like, so if you get a song on one of those things, it might be completely different from what that artist usually does.
100%.
And then you're like, man, like that. But that's the song that blew up, and
Right.
it's not even like one of the more popular songs that person like might have put out or something like
Right.
that.
Man, just speaking of sync licenses, my boy Teddy, he did something crazy with. Have you seen the movie They Clone Tyrone?
Yes, yeah.
So Project Pat has a song in that movie, and Teddy he did the sync on that. He actually produced.
Nice.
Yeah, he did the beat for Project Pat, and Netflix reached out. Shout out Joel Taylor, Netflix, and my boy Philippe. Yeah, they reached out to Teddy, and he was able to do that deal.
So did he reach out first, or they heard the song and then wanted it in there?
Well, honestly, I'm not sure if they. I think the guy Philippe, the homie Philippe, I think he had heard Teddy's project. He had heard one of the songs or a few of the songs off Teddy's project, and then he actually had good ties with Joel, who actually is the director of They Clone Tyrone.
Okay.
And then Philippe connected Joel and Teddy, and then it just went from there.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Like that, I tell people all the time. Maybe not what you know, but who you know.
And who you know, 100%. It's always about who you know. I feel like who you know is a little more important than what you know, because I mean, it depending on at the time, you know, like that you need it, because I mean, you can always gain that knowledge, you know.
Yeah,
But if you got somebody who can walk you into these rooms, like shit, get it. You got to get it how you live until you know you're able to take that time and you know.
Yeah, but
gain
like
that knowledge.
you have to have those like what they call soft skills. You know, being able to talk to people.
100%. Yeah, the soft skills are definitely necessary.
Yeah, a lot of people, you know, they might fail at that because they don't know how to read a room, right?
Yep,
so they
that's
get in a
true.
room and they don't know how to like, all right, don't freak out if you see so and so, or don't talk to somebody and say this. You know, they're sensitive about that. So it's like, yo, chill out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. Reading the room is very, very important. So
So with They Clone Tyrone, there was a lot of stuff in there about Memphis.
yeah,
That was pretty interesting. To
yeah.
see.
Because if I'm not mistaken, I think the director is from Arkansas.
Okay.
It's either Arkansas or Alabama. Sorry if I get that wrong. But yeah, it was a lot of reference to Memphis. If they were traveling from somewhere on their way to Memphis.
Yeah, they were talking about going to Memphis.
The whole thing was about them making it to Memphis.
Yeah. And I was like, I don't know what this is about, because I mean they had like the whole chicken thing and being brainwashed, and I was like, what does that have to do?
I mean, because I guess they were trying to spread a deeper message, saying that like you know, they've been taking our sauce, you know, for years. They've been experimenting on us for years, giving us, you know, bad food, bad hair products, liquor, you know, alcohol, and then, you know, turn around and then use our likeness and make money off of it. You know, so that's essentially the message that I got from it, that like, you know, they're grooming people to be a certain way everywhere.
Yeah, I mean, culture is taken all the time from people, and it's like, all right, yeah, we get it.
Right, we get it.
Yeah. You see it in like that movie, and you're just like, oh, I thought it was a great movie. Like
Yeah,
the concept of it and everything was phenomenal.
Jamie Foxx was hilarious.
Yes.
John Bodega, he's a phenomenal actor. Yeah, that was a great movie.
Yeah, and I think that when you have a movie,
I said his name right. My bad. My bad.
When you have movies that they basically use like music really well, I think God, what's the name of that show? It was just on HBO, but now it's on Netflix. I can't think of the name of it, but like it's the chick is the main character, and you're just like going through all her like relationships. Dang, I can't think of the name of that movie. Insecure. Thank you. Somebody offset. They're not on camera right now. They helped with that. What's your name? Chrissy. All right, she helped with that. But yes, Insecure.
I've never seen Insecure.
Oh my God, it is. So it was only on Netflix at first.
Okay,
and then now it's on. I mean, I'm sorry, it was on HBO.
Now it's on Netflix.
Max. but now it's on Netflix.
Okay.
And yeah, like the music that they used in that was amazing.
Okay.
But it's like, you know, she's a black chick and she's probably maybe in like her 30s or so. So like a lot of urban like hip hop stuff throughout the whole thing. And like she's taking you through like a bunch of different relationships he's had with like dating and everything. And like I think a lot of the stuff they use like artists that I never even heard of, because I'm like listening to these voices and the music. I'm like, man, I don't know who this is, but I want to know.
Right.
So yeah, that kind of stuff, like we were talking about with the sync license, like that can change somebody's life.
100%. Yeah, putting their music in somebody's film or movie, because like you said, it's introducing their stuff to a wider audience.
Yeah, to be able to do that and to, I guess, captivate an audience by capturing like your culture into an entire movie. That's why I tell artists to make your music like a movie,
Right.
is because that's what you want to do. Like you want to create this atmosphere for people to be engaged and like, man, like you just took me through an experience.
Right. Honestly, that's one reason why I'm such a fan of Teddy Walton, because I'm not sure if you've heard of him, but he's produced some crazy tracks. And this guy's project, dude, I wish he would just hurry up and release it. It's so emotional. Like when you hear like the sounds that he used, the different sounds in his beats. It's an emotional roller coaster, man. He calls it what does he call it? He got a specific term, but I can't think of it. But it's like cinematic music or something like that. But like it's like you can actually, when you listen to it, you can just close your eyes. You can like envision stuff like a whole scene or scenery. It's crazy. But
Yeah.
That's the reason why I'm such a fan of Teddy, because he got some dope sounds. The way he makes it, just like visual. It's a visual sound or
Yeah.
audio visual, something he called it.
And that's like people like Kendrick. They
Yep.
do a really good job of
He
that.
actually produced Love.
Oh,
with Kendrick
okay.
Lamar. Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, like Kendrick, I was just listening through To Pimp a Butterfly today. And like the way he's taking you through that is such a visionary, as you said, that
100%.
cinema type music
Yep.
where like you're trying to picture what's going on instead of I'm just listening to some music.
Right.
You want to picture what's going on, and that's
100%.
something that you can take people through an experience with, and they'll hit play on song one and just let it run
ride
through.
the whole album. Yep.
Yeah,
That's
and
true.
that's irreplaceable as an artist, because you want people to listen to your whole albums. You don't want to
100%.
have like 2 songs on there and
Placement
then
holders,
fillers.
fillers.
Fillers are a killer.
They
That's
are
why I tell
killing. They be killing stuff, bro. They'll kill your album, especially if you got a good buzz going, and then you put a project out full of fillers. Yeah, that can hurt you.
Yeah. Do you think that? So if somebody's creating an album and they end up trying to rush it, like, do you think that is something that they can get away with if like the songs are capturing like a certain, I would say like a certain vibe, right? So we have some people who have like music where it's like short, let's say like a 12-song album or something like that. And then they're able to just like, have a vibe to it. So you might have like just party music, or I always think of like Travis Porter, like that party music, like that was them. Like Travis Porter, it was awesome. So if they had put out like six songs album, like I'm hitting play and just going through that. So I don't know. What do you feel about like just people who just have like certain types of music and like everything just goes like that?
As far as so I'm kind of trying to like bring it all back around. So you're mentioning like Travis Porter, how they had like the party music.
Yeah.
So how do I feel about like people having their own sound?
They've got like their own lane, and they're just like, oh man, I can just I can put out this type of stuff. Because like with Kendrick, when I was listening to that, it was like mainly funk in that to Pimp a Butterfly.
Yeah, I get it.
But like he's rapping though. You know, he's going hard. It's not like the Anderson .Paak and Bruno Mars. That's funk, but like it's Kendrick. You know, he's going hard with the bars and everything. He's going hard. So like with a Travis Porter type joint, or even the Migos, like when they have their type stuff, like, you know, they're doing trap music, but like that party music, they could have put that together in 5 days or 5 months or 5 years, and I wouldn't know the difference. You know what I mean? Because you can kind of tell with like high production, that probably took a while to be put together. Yeah. So I don't know.
I actually I like when artists take their time and put out, you know, take their time in that music, put time and effort into it, because like you said, it shows, it comes out in it. Like you can tell when somebody rushed something, and you can tell when somebody, you know, took their time. So me, I'm a fan of, you know, like the artistry, because I used to be an artist, you know, so it always goes back to, I don't say what I would have done, but it just takes me to a point where it's just like I relate to them as an artist, you know. So I would always take my time. I would never rush anything, you know. It's always time, man. Take your time, bro.
Do you so like for beat selection and stuff like that, when you making music, like what kind of stuff do you like to use?
Man, as far as beat selection, I like a lot of melodic stuff. Melodic. I like samples, heavy 808s. Yeah, man, just like anything chill, you know. Like I like the chill,
the ride music, or just bro. You know, just vibe and chilling, stuff like that. Like I call it kind of like just like house music. Not like, I know house music is actually like a real genre, but like I think it was like if I'm just sitting in my house and I just want to play some music,
just chill, I'm on that vibe too, But you know, it's a time and a place for the turn up now. Like you can't leave the turn up music out.
So you mentioned samples, and I think samples are kind of getting out of hand nowadays.
Yeah, well, because 100%, because it's like there's no originality. Like every time you like turn on the radio, you hear like a remake from the 90s. Now my thing is like I don't mind using a sample in a beat, you know, 7 seconds, 8 seconds, like maybe like 15 seconds of a sample. But these people are like remaking songs like word for word, and it's just like, all right, bro, like where's the originality?
Yeah,
you know? So
I mean,
that's getting kind of tiring.
Yeah, I heard. Gosh, what's that dude's name? Murder Beats. Like he was talking about working on a song, and then like when he was talking about working with the artist, he was like, all right, what song are we sampling? And I was like, that's how you started off with what are we sampling?
What are we sampling?
I was like, that's crazy.
I mean, but you got to think, some artists, they prefer to work off samples. It makes it a lot easier. It makes it a lot easier for the producer as well.
Yeah, like the atmosphere and the vibe's already set.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. So
yeah, that's an interesting thought. I actually never thought about that.
Yeah, it makes it easier, and like you said, it sets the vibe. It allows the artist to, you know, add their creativity to something that's already, you know, been put out. Just add a different flavor to it. But at the same time, you know, I feel like they could like chill out on, you know, the actual remakes of everything.
Yeah.
You know, if you're gonna use a sample, if you're gonna remake a song, don't make it verbatim.
Yeah.
As the previous artist.
I would like to see people do more stuff like probably like early 2000s.
Yeah.
And do collaborations. I'm mainly thinking of people like Nelly. Like I haven't heard anybody, you know, sampling Nelly or something, but Nelly had hits. He had hits.
He had hits, but you got to think to us they hits. To the folks coming up right now, they like, bro,
who?
Like, but I respect Nelly to the fullest. I came up off Nelly, like for real, like that Country Grammar album, bro. Man. What? Come on, man. Like Nelly was spitting back then. But he had some hits. Like you said, he's a phenomenal artist, but to the younger generation, they just not hearing it.
Yeah.
You know.
I was talking to a guy and he was like, I was talking about like, man, Lil Wayne was killing it with the droughts and like his mixtape era. I was like, I've never listened to his mixtapes. And I was like,
come on, man, that's best Lil Wayne right there. That's prime Wheezy.
Yes.
Prime Lil Wayne right there.
And if people, you know, they continue to do the samples, it is bringing to life, all the older music, but like I think doing those kind of like collaborations, like how Tory Lanez did that with T-Pain.
Okay.
And I think, oh no, he might have did it with T-Pain, but it was Chris Brown. He did one with Chris Brown.
Oh, yeah.
Where shoot, what song was that? I don't even remember what song that was called, but
I can tell you.
They had sampled one of Chris's songs, and then Chris is on the song.
Okay,
and then I think
that
he did
makes
the
sense.
same thing with T-Pain.
Okay.
So like that was pretty cool because you're like letting the artist who was on this sample
Right, actually get a piece of it. Yeah.
exactly,
Yeah.
and they're like adding to it because maybe they had more to say.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So that
Yeah,
was
paying
pretty
that
cool.
homage too.
Exactly,
for actually using a song. I respect that stuff.
Yeah, and doing that, you're helping that because Tory was hot
Right.
at the time, so it's like, oh, you're allowing yourself, you're giving your platform to the person, as you said,
yeah.
paying homage to them. So that way, the people who don't know, like as we were talking about, let's say somebody did something with Nelly, right?
Right.
So people be like, oh, who's Nelly? Like all the younger people, are like, I don't know who Nelly is. So they're going to go back and listen to Nelly's old music. I'm like, dang,
Damn,
Nelly's-
right. I could think of that time when G Herbo did that Who Run It by 3 6. That brought a whole new wave
Yeah.
of 3 6 samples into the game. Like
Yeah.
from then you started hearing the Cardi B samples, then you started hearing everybody else. Like, man, Juicy J and DJ Paul, man, they got a lot of music that is being sampled.
Yes.
A lot of music. So
They're making a killing off
like
samples.
killing for real. For
Was
real.
the song with G-Eazy and ASAP and Cardi? They sampled I think it was Slob on My Knob.
Yep.
But yeah, like
That one. And then Cardi, she sampled the chicken head joint. So yeah, they getting bread, bro.
yeah, for sure. And like what you're doing, if people don't have that set up, they
they missing out, you know,
Yeah.
they losing their money, So it's important to make sure you got all your stuff registered too.
yeah, having your publishing and all that kind of stuff
Yep.
like that.
Yep.
That will set you up for the future like tremendously.
So we teach people how to obtain their own publishing companies, publishing companies, distribution companies, literally the whole nine. Like I can set you up.
What's probably like your favorite part about I guess helping people discover stuff about their music business aspect of it?
Like I said, when they hit me up and they're like, "Yo, I got that money, like I got paid," and then they, reinvest that money into video shoots or studio time, whatever. Just being able to see the artist like take control of their career and like fund their own career
Yeah.
through their own work, like that's priceless to me. I'd love to see that.
Yeah, because I mean, as an artist, like you're looking for new ways to accrue money and get
Exactly.
new revenue.
Exactly.
So, as you said, like use that money to
Yep.
do that video you never did and stuff
Exactly.
like that. So, yeah, that helps out a lot.
That's my favorite part, man. Just being able to see them like succeed and just as long as they learn something from me, like whether it be how to copyright your music, whether it be how to get a sync deal, whether it be anything, like as long as I can teach somebody something that they did not know, that's my favorite part, bro. I get a kick out of that.
Yeah. Do you have like I guess an artist that has you took them from basically they weren't doing well at all to like now they're like super successful?
I haven't really worked hands on with many artists. So I'm working right now with K Boogie. This is my first artist that I
Okay.
got hands on with. I've usually just dealt with producers. And like I said, when I first got introduced to like the management, it was with Teddy and Aaron, and they were
okay.
already, making
Yeah.
heavy moves in the industry. So I was lucky to like get put into that situation to where I didn't have to like really come from the ground up. It was just like a little boost. Who you know, not what you know.
Yeah.
So for right now, K Boogie, that's who I'm with. I'm teaching him the ropes, teaching him everything that I know. And yes, I've definitely seen him go from having a little bit of bread to a few more $100 in his
Yeah.
account. And so I've watched his artistry grow, like just watching him perform. from when he was doing shows back in college to now he did the 901 show. He performed like last week, I believe, at the award show. They had this award show here in Memphis. He performed over there, and so yeah, just watching him grow, watching him attain more knowledge that's where it's at right now.
That's awesome.
Yep.
We can go ahead and wrap this up. Do you go ahead and give everybody like your info of like all the stuff that you do, websites or anything, links, and give it out.
All right, so you can always find me. My Instagram is Chris Graham 901. We also have The Manifested as an Instagram page. That's where you can go and learn more about what we do as a company. Our website is open, the-manifested-ent.com. You can go there. You can purchase the website. I said the website. You can purchase the ebook. You can purchase the
buy his
website.
website.
You can buy my website. You can buy a website. Like I said, we create landing pages. We do independent film distribution. We do a lot. So yeah, it's the-manifested-ent.com. Chris Graham 901 and The Manifested on Instagram.
Awesome. Thank you so much for coming out.
Nah, thank you, brother. I appreciate you for having me, man. Let's do this again sometime.
Awesome. Awesome. Cool. Well, all right. Thank you for everybody for tuning in. See you next time.